Because PlayStation, I'm telling y'all, bro, they got some heat. Or potentially coming soon. We don't know dates yet, but all I know is, bro, I got a chance to try it. And oh my God. Let's talk about what I saw during my time at CES that PlayStation has coming out, all right? Now, let me paint y'all this picture real quick, all right? So, and I'm going to show y'all somewhat of a visual of what this looks like, right? So, I'm standing in line. So they had this booth set up, right? I'm gonna try to paint this picture as best I can because again, I could not film nothing. So they had this booth. I'm not even gonna call it a booth, bro. It was like this building that was set up, and this is all on the showroom floor. This building was massive. It was pretty big, all right? And it was this all white building on the outside, and then they also had a clicker from Last of Us. So let me show y'all, again, I'm gonna paint the picture. Last of Us clicker. This is a clicker right here, all right? While that's loading, this is a clicker right here. So they had basically a life-size statue of a clicker right outside of this building. And all I'm seeing is, like, all I'm hearing from the people that was like working this building, these cats had on like production headsets. So I'm standing outside in the line getting ready to get into this thing. And I'm like, bro, I don't know what the heck this is, but this must be a full-on production because, like, I'm telling y'all, they had like movie studio level crew with headphones on, microphones, communicating with each other, right? This is all before you get into the white building, this big, huge little white building that they got, right? So I'm kind of like, what the hell does PlayStation got up their sleeve right now? Like, what is this? I'm seeing a clicker on the outside. So instantly in my mind, I'm like, all right, this must be something dealing with Last of Us, right? Now, it was Last of Us Part 2. Throwing that out there because, you know, Ellie was a little older. So I do want to throw that out there. So
this right here is a company called JMGO. Now, they are the pioneer brand when it comes to advanced projection technology that can produce over 1 billion colors. That's going to give you guys a clear as well as vibrant imagery, even in brightly lit environments. That does mean the sunlight too. Now, the first projector we have up here is the JMGO O2S Ultra. Now, it is the world's smallest ultra short throw laser projector that can give you a 100-inch screen with just being 5.75 inches from the wall. It has 4K resolution. You get 110% of the color gambit. Now, the cool thing that I learned about it is its smart features with this auto keystone correction, autofocus, and smart screen fitting for a hassle-free setup. And last, it has built-in Google TV, which gives you access to services like Netflix and more. Now, the next one I saw is the JMGO N3 Ultra Max, which has around 4,000 ISO lumens. Its AI-powered gimbal system has a revolutionary point-and-play feature with real-time automated alignment using MALC 3.0 triple laser optics for a perfect balance of brightness, contrast, and color accuracy. Now, one of the things that I noticed was its cable-free design of relocated I/O port to enable a 360-degree rotation. You're also getting a 4K resolution that can project up to 180 inches for an immersive experience. The N3 Ultra also has built-in Google TV. And last, y'all, we have the JMGO N1S Ultimate that includes MALC 2.0, triple laser technology, ultra bright performance with 3,500 ISO lumens. Now, this one here is going to be ideal for cinematic viewing as well as daytime usage, giving you lifelike, vivid visuals. Now, it also has the iconic gimbal design, which will give you a 360-degree pan and 135-degree tilt for maximum flexibility, which is integrated with Google TV as well for an all-in-one entertainment suite. Now, if you guys want to learn more about JMGO and their products, I'll have links for you guys down in the description section below. Thanks again to JMGO for sponsoring this portion of the video.
I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, these cats got on these studio level movie theater, like not movie theater, but like movie production, like headphone crew, right? So then we stand in line, we finally get in line. Now, wait, first off, before we get in, they're like, okay, we need 2 people to be shooters. Well, first off, they was like, who in your crew of people that was with us? They was like, who in your crew are good shooters? They got good aim. So I instantly raised my hand. I'm like, well, you know, I play Call of Duty a lot, so I feel like I got pretty good aim. My slide cancel is on point. You know what I'm saying? My drop shot is still there if it needs to be, all right? So I raised my hand like, yo, I want to be a shooter, right? And then they was like, who wants to be like the flashlight holder? And I'm going to get into what these things were and the reason why they asked those questions. All right. So we finally get inside, or we get inside like the first part of it, because there was like 2 parts of this building that they built up for this event, right? We get into the first part of this building. And in the first part of this building, you're standing like on the side of this wall, and then they have like this bin that's sitting in front of you. And in the bin, all I saw was like I'm gonna paint the picture. Now, the thing that I saw in the bin, right? It was 4 different items in this bin, or 4 items in this bin. 2 of the items were like guns, like shooter guns, and they looked similar to something like this. Now, they didn't look obviously like this, but the shape was like this to a degree. And on the end of it, it had these white dots on the end of them, which was kind of like Marcus. You ever like watched a movie or watch somebody film like a movie and it's like green screen and they have like these little dots all over them, so that way, you know, the camera can be able to pick up movements and all of that. That's what was on the end of this little like controller thing that they had, right? And it looked, the length of it was a little longer than this. I'll say it was probably about this long in length. And on one end, right, let's just say on this end was like a trigger. It was like a trigger on this end. So I'm like, okay, this must be the little shooter thing that they was talking about. And then the other 2 items that they had in the bin, again, the shape was like this, but you would hold it like this. And again, on the other end, it had like these little dots, but it had a circle on it that resembled a flashlight. So I'm like, what the heck are we getting ready to walk into? So we didn't touch anything. And that was the moment where I was about to pull out my phone and record, because I was like, yo, what is this? Like, this is some top secret stuff, right? Soon as I was getting ready to do it, the guy walks out. And he was like, there's absolutely no filming. You cannot film anything in here. Again, this is the guy with the headset and the microphone, right? He goes, you cannot film anything, nothing in here you can film. You have to, everything is prototype. They're still testing this out. This is brand new. Has not been talked about on the market. This has never been seen before, all right? Then all of a sudden, this guy bum rushes out the other side of the wall that we're getting ready to go into. Again, I don't know what's in there. All I know is something is inside of this other room, right? This guy, he's an actor. He's dressed up in like Last of Us type of attire, right? He bum rushes out of the other room. He's kind of like somewhat out of breath, like something was going down up in the other room. So I'm like, okay, something's happening. So he comes out, right? And he's talking to our group that was with us. So he's talking to our group and he's like telling his whole story. Now, this guy is in character. He's an actor. He's a paid actor. So I'm instantly like, oh shit, I'm in this. Like, y'all already know me. Last of Us Part 2, the Last of Us series in general is one of my favorite games that I've ever played. All right. So I'm instantly like geeked at this point. I'm like, yo, well, we getting ready to, like, what's happening? Is there a clicker on the inside? Like, what's going on? So the guy comes outside, right? And he's just out of breath. He's like, yo, you know, we got a situation on the inside. Something's going on. Just know it's going to be super dark in here, but you guys can't make any sounds. I need you guys to tiptoe in here because there's clickers everywhere. And he's in full character, bro. And I'm like, oh shit, let's go, bro. Like, I'm getting like super pumped at this time. And then he's like, okay, I need 2 shooters and I need 2 people with flashlights. So he's like, who's my shooters? So I'm like instantly like, yo, I'm the shooter, bro. Let's go. So he hands me this prototype device and he's telling us like how to use it or whatever. Mind you, it's shaped similar to this with like a little bulb circle on the end with like white dots all over it, bro. And he's like, you press this to shoot it? So I'm like, okay, well, this is going to shoot it, whatever. He's like, also, be careful with it because it's a prototype. They're still testing it out. Don't go like super crazy. Don't clinch up with it and nothing like that. Listen, bro. So I'm going to get into some of the features of this thing here in a second, all right? So then he goes, all right, who's my flashlight people? The other 2 people, they raise their hand. and then they pick up their flashlight or whatever. Mind you, it's not a real flashlight. And it is not a real like gun or real weapon or anything like that. These are all just like shell products, not a real flashlight. And I'm prefacing that for a reason, all right? So he's like, all right, you guys got your weapons. I need y'all to be quiet. Do not make a sound going in here. And for those that know Last of Us, the clickers, they react on sound. They can't see anything. They just react solely, purely on sound. So we had to be quiet going into this room, all right? So we go into the room, right? We're ready. I know what I'm saying? I'm ready to go to war. I got my prototype, device, all right? I don't even know what it's called because they didn't even tell us a name. They just said this is a prototype that PlayStation's working on, right? We go in there. I got my stuff, and I'm holding it like this because it's really like this long, whatever. So I'm walking in, bro. Hold on. Let me paint the picture. I'm walking in, all right? Hold up. Wait a minute. I'm walking in, bro. I'm like this with it. I'm like looking around. I'm tiptoeing because I don't know what's what, bro. So we get into the room. Right? It is pitch freaking black. When I tell you don't see nothing, you see nothing, bro. All you had was your other two people who had flashlights. So I look up on the top of up top of this building that we were in, right? So I look up top, all around it's like these infrared cameras. I don't know if they were cameras or sensors. I don't know really what they were. All I know is I definitely saw that it had night vision on it, so it could clearly see us. So it was like cameras all the way around. Now this was like a square. It was kind of like a square building, but they had like screens all up, right? So, and these screens were probably, bro, I would say anywhere from 30 to 40 feet tall. Right? And then you had cameras all the way around or whatever, sensors, cameras, whatever they were, all the way around. So all of a sudden, I'm walking in. I'm like this. I'm walking in, tiptoeing. Everybody's being quiet. We don't know what the heck is going on. All we know is the actor is with us and we got our squad, right? So the guy comes. So the screens turn on. All you see, bro, is like The Last of Us, and I'm going to show y'all somewhat what this looked like. All you see is The Last of Us, like there's like a subway scene, right? All you see is that. And you see Ellie and another chick, she just got down and we see a clicker coming our way. But the actor's like, shh, that's not our problem. Let Ellie and them figure that out. So Ellie, you seeing her struggle with it. She stabs the clicker in the neck with her knife, right? And we're still quiet. Because he was like, that clicker had nothing to do with us. So Ellie and them leaves off the screen, bro. You're still stuck in this subway. And the whole thing was set up. They had it was like tore down pieces of subway or of metal. They had rocks, like they had been messed up or whatever. They had the scenery was set, all right? Then you had these big screens. The dope part about it was, again, it was dark in this room. The people who had the flashlights, bro, all they had to do was point it to the screen and it interacted with the screen, right? I'm talking about the light. There was no light on the controller that they had, but the light would show on the screen as if it was actually a real flashlight that they was holding. When I tell you it was so freaking dope, it was fire. That was just one piece. So they was kind of like looking around trying to find if there was a clicker or somebody coming up that was like pulling up behind us because the screen was all in front of us. But again, it was so like wrapped somewhat around you that it felt like it was 360 degrees, right? So you're just looking all around you trying to find whatever. So all of a sudden you hear the clicker noise. So you hear it because the whole room is like 360 degree audio. Like the audio quality was freaking top tier. I don't know what they was using, but it was top freaking tier, right? So all of a sudden, you hear the clicker coming out from our right side. So the guy that was with me, that had the flashlight, he was kind of like my teammate or whatever with the flashlight. So he turns over there to one side and he's like, "Yo, there's a clicker right here." So I'm like, "All right, cool, I'm ready." So I got my weapon here, right? It has a trigger on it. The dope part about it, when you fire this prototype, when you fire this thing, bro, it had recoil. And I'm talking the same, bro, it had recoil like the DualSense, but like much stronger. Like to the point where when you shot this thing, you felt, you felt it, bro. And again, whatever you interacted with on the screen. So as I'm shooting the clicker, bro, I've seen everything transpire on the screen. And it is in real time, bro. I'm moving around. My guy who has the flashlight, he's moving around with me. We find the clickers. I'm shooting. I got the recoil like this, bro. So freaking fire. Then on top of that, as we walking around the room, bro, again, I'm like this, tiptoeing. You feel the floor. There's haptics in the freaking floor, bro. Like we tiptoeing, walking around this room, you shooting, you feeling the haptics in the floor. It was some next level stuff, bro. Now I'm gonna show y'all, cause somebody had posted something out here. Now this has already been posted out there, so this is not anything that I'm leaking or nothing like that. But I just want to paint y'all the picture of what this somewhat looked like. All right. Hold on. Let me see if I can blow the screen up a little bit more. Let me pull this up, bro. Now this is from somebody named Controller. All right. Now, I'm not leaking anything. Now, I don't know if this thing that we saw, now the controller, fire. I just don't know what their plans is and where they're actually going to be releasing this. But let me show y'all kind of an idea of what this looked like. Now, this is a new idea that looks like it was called Future Entertainment Concept. Now, this has already been out there, but this is kind of the scene of what we saw. Now, I'm not going to show you the room, but you can get a picture of what we were looking at on the screen, right? Because the game is already out, so that's not like anything being leaked because what we saw was already a part of the game, right? But I just want to show y'all and kind of paint the picture, right? So, this was the scene that I was talking about. So it was like a train scene and you had the clicker was fighting, but this one was like Ellie that was on the ground. And she was fighting, and then she ended up stabbing him in the neck or whatnot. And you're in this room, and you got this device that's in your hand that's something like a weapon or a gun. And you're just moving around, and you're shooting, bro. And this is kind of the experience of what we saw. Now, that's not the weapon that we had, because that was something completely different. But this was like the look of what we had. And listen, y'all, when I tell you, it was the dopest thing that I have ever seen and have ever experienced, man. And I get out of there and I'm like, listen, this has to come out because the weapon that you have, the whatever, the gun or whatever that I'm shooting with, the recoil felt so real. Like it felt so real. Like you're sitting there, you here with it and you're do. And then you're literally feeling it, man. Like, and I was like, oh, they got to come out with this. They have to come out with this ASAP. All right. Now, I don't know if this is something that's going to come out on the PS6 or if it's going to come out PS6 Pro. Listen, I don't know. They didn't give us no insights on that. But the moment I walked out of that joint, I said, I have to share this with my people. I have to share this with my people, man. Have to. Listen, y'all, it was by far one of the dopest experiences. And when I tell you, the screens when you walked in there was so high quality. The floor haptic feedbacks was so high quality. I don't know if they're going to come out with like maybe a floor pad later on that you can buy. So maybe if you playing games like Call of Duty, you can actually feel the ground that you're walking on because that's kind of what it felt like in a way. And then also, when it came to the weapon or whatever, when it came to the weapon that you have, I'm assuming this is going to be something that potentially could be like with maybe the next iteration with PlayStation VR, or maybe this is something to whereas you put a device or something over your monitor or maybe over on your TV or something like that, where this new controller that they are prototyping that could potentially be coming out is actually going to interact with whatever screen or TV that you guys have. And if that's the case, listen, bro, there isn't a single gaming company. I don't care if it's Nintendo, I don't care if it's Xbox, nobody, bro. PC, nobody is touching the experience of what I experienced at CES when it came to PlayStation, bro. It was so dope, man. So freaking dope. And listen, man, if it comes out or if it starts to get talked about, I'll give y'all a little bit more because I could draw out from memory exactly what it looked like. But I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get, I ain't trying to get like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to get sued or nothing like that. But listen, all I know is PlayStation, what y'all showed me while I was there, Sony. Listen, man, I need that to come out ASAP, all right? I need that. Because at that point, it's not even an argument no more. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people go, gaming on PC, yes, you should game on PC. Or Xbox player, Xbox players is better. Listen, when this dropped, y'all already know me, man. The PlayStation DualSense Edge controller is by far the best gaming controller on the market today, in my personal opinion. But listen, if they drop this device, this isn't it. But if they drop this device that's similar to something like this, that is a handheld with recoil, come on, bro. It is game over. You hear me? It is game over. And ain't nobody even compete. And that's one of the things that I love about PlayStation, man, is the fact of, yes, they continuously keep coming out with more consoles and different things like that, but they're also not afraid of trying new things. You know what I'm saying? The fact that when they came out with the DualSense controller, bro, when they came out with the adaptive triggers, game changing. Game changing. And they didn't care what any other company was doing out there. They said to themselves, we're going to change the way people experience gaming, not through just the screen in itself, but it all starts with the controller. It all starts with the controller. A controller is like your barber. You don't just switch up with this. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that when they came out with something that was so different and it worked, come on, man. Come on, man. Ain't nobody messing with that. And now they coming out with something like this with the recoil? Bro, come on, man. PlayStation is it, bro. It was an experience, man. And I could not wait to share that with y'all.